I never liked Michael. Is that a wicked thing to say? I guess so. Is it true? Totally. He was my kid brother. But he was horrible. I know you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but then you shouldn't lie either. Seems I have to do wrong one way or another, which in a funny way sums it all up. Ever since Michael was born, it seemed everything I've done is wrong. I was 5 when Mom had him, a 5-year age gap. Doesn't sound much, does it? And to an adult, I guess it's not, but to a kid of 5 years is a lifetime. I still remember now when they brought him home from the hospital. "Come on, Susie, meet your brother," they said. I looked in the basket and saw an alien. Beady eyes full of gunk, jet black hair like Damien from the horror movie, and a squashed up face. Dad said that was because he needed a bit of help coming out. I said they shouldn't have bothered. And that's how it started. Scolded and sent to my room the first time I ever clapped eyes on him. Later, I was called down to apologize. Can you believe it? Apologize to a 2-day-old baby. "Sorry," I said. "I don't speak gurgle and puke." They sent me back to my room. Then I thought, why did they want another kid anyway? Wasn't I good enough? Had I let them down? I went to school and worked hard. I went to church and didn't complain. What had I done to deserve this snot-nosed brat invading our home? Because that's what he was, snot-nosed. I swear, for the next 9 years, every time I had the misfortune to look at that awful brother of mine, he had a string of green snot dangling from one nostril or the other. When the doorbell rang, I was in my bedroom. Mom opened the door and I went to the top of the stairs to see who it was. Mr. Haverskill, the butcher. Next to him stood a policeman. Behind them, I saw a flashing blue light. My stomach went cold. Mathilda, I thought, sure he had run down my beloved Tabby in his smelly old van. "May we come in?" the policeman said. Then, before he could stop him, Mr. Haverskill blurted it out. "It's Michael. He's dead. I'm so sorry. It was an accident. He just ran out in front of me." Mom fainted. I went back to my room, a wave of relief washing over me. Mathilda was all right. And that was the end of Michael. Or so I thought. It turned out I had another 3 days of him in the dining room for viewing. Everyone we knew came round to pay their respects. They'd hug Mom and Dad, tell them no parent should live to see their child die, blah, blah, blah. Then they'd start wailing and crying, and that would set Mom and Dad off. The day of the funeral came. Everyone who'd already been round turned up again. More tears, more wailing. I had to wear this awful black dress. Then Mom hit me with the bombshell. "Come on, Susie," she said. "Kiss Michael goodbye." What? I hadn't kissed him when he was alive. I sure as hell didn't want to start now. "Please, love," Dad said this time. Mom was leaking again. "You won't get another chance." I looked around the room. It felt like 100 pairs of red, puffy eyes were watching me. Slowly, I walked towards the coffin. It lay open on the table, polished until it shone. Along the side were brass fittings, sparkling in the sunlight streaming through the window. It must have cost a fortune. What a waste of money for something you're going to bury. I reached it and looked inside. He wasn't too bad, actually. The funeral parlor had done a good job. I still don't want to kiss him, but a little peck on the cheek wouldn't kill me. I lowered my face. And then I saw it. Snot. I froze. Do dead noses run? I didn't think so. So why was there a thin string of greenery creeping from Michael's nose and almost reaching his upper lip? He's alive. Then something else. An eyelid twitched. Michael was about to be buried alive. Or was he? It was up to me. I didn't even think about it. I leaned down and kissed him. "Goodbye, Michael," I said. "I'll miss you." I turned and walked away. Someone offered Mom and Dad a final goodbye. Mom was crying too much to speak. Dad shook his head. Two men dressed in black suits walked to the coffin and carefully closed the lid. They screwed it down, and that was the end of that. Or so I thought. That night I had nightmares. Trapped in the dark, no room to move, and the scratching, endless scratching, like fingernails on wood. A coffin lid, maybe. And it wouldn't go away. It's been a month now, and every night's the same. Which is why I came here, Father. Do you think if I ask God's forgiveness, the nightmares will stop? Will God make them go away? Do you, Father? Father? Are you there? Father? Susie stood up. Her back ached from leaning towards the grill, and her butt was numb from the hard wooden bench. They should make these things more comfortable, she thought. What was it like for people with loads to confess, people who had done something really bad? She opened the curtain and stepped out into the church. It felt cool and refreshing after the cramped and stuffy confessional. But what had happened to Father Jerome? She knew it was wrong, but she had to look. Slowly, she peeled back the purple velvet curtain. Unbelievable! He was slumped in the corner in a dead faint. Must be the heat, she thought. This thing is too small. It's like a coffin. Susie turned and left the church. That night, for the first time in a month, her sleep was long and peaceful. The nightmares had gone.